Well, I have to say, I know it's not quite 12 o'clock, but I wanted to make certain that I got everything in here and was set up. But I have to tell you, it's a little bit strange. Zoom shows everything in real time, and Facebook is delayed, so it makes it a little bit odd having two screens up. Anyway, I'll give everybody just a couple of minutes to jump in. I realize that I guess next time what I'll do is I will fix my hair and put on a little bit of makeup, but it's just us, right? It's just us. And if we can't be who we are, how we are with each other, then who can we be with? Um, my husband is about to take off to do a job down in Mexico. He's letting me know that he is on the plane. I'm glad it's a good weather day. Glad it's very grateful it's a good weather day. If any of you are traveling or have been able to travel, I'd like to hear how the experience was. The last time I got to really go anywhere was last August when we went to Alabama for my second son's graduation from the University of Alabama. Anyway, I hope some of you are able to join me. I hope that you guys have some things to celebrate, to share, questions to ask. Otherwise, I do have a topic that I will be talking about. So, but this is your time. This is not my time. So I'm hoping that you jump in here and let me know what's on your mind. I want to say the most exciting thing going on right now is I see the sunshine. I'm down here in Texas, just west of Houston, and we have been having incredible rain. We've been in a drought, so it's been kind of nice to have the rain. But that means that we haven't seen too much sunshine. So today we are seeing some sunshine, and that is really nice. However, it means that the mosquitoes are out. Yeah, so that's something that we'll talk about in just a minute. But I hope that somebody does hop in here. But if you don't, that is okay. I would really like to hear what is your biggest aha moment from reading You Can't Eat Love. What did you discover about yourself that you were not aware of before? You've heard a lot about me. I would like to hear something about you. I'd like to get to know who you are. Please, reach out, share, ask any questions. This is a journey, and it's about the journey. And you do not have to travel on the journey by yourself. Remember, myself and several other people are riding in the car with you. So, I'd like to hear what you're planning on doing today, how you've celebrated any wins that you've gotten recently. Oh, yes. Well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's see, we've got just about one more minute. So how about Yes, that's Bread. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They were a rock band back in the 70s, one of my favorite groups. They've got some really good music. If is probably one of their most famous songs. Anyway, welcome. It's that time of the day, that time of the week when I want to celebrate you. If you have any struggles that you've got, I would like to hear about them and see what I can do to help you so that you can work your way past those struggles. Also, if you have any questions, just, if you're trying to figure something out, let me know what that might be and let me see if I can help you figure that out. Because the most important thing to remember is you're not on this journey alone. It is a journey. And sometimes we do run into roadblocks and traffic jams. Since nobody is here just exactly right now, what I want to talk to you about is something that occurred to me today. I'm down here in Texas, and we've had a whole lot of rain recently. Well, around here in the summertime, rain means mosquitoes. And after it rains, they really come out in full force. So I was walking with the children out in the back this morning, just like I do at least 4 times every day. And I was being absolutely swarmed by mosquitoes. I hadn't thought about it, so I hadn't put on any kind of repellent or citronella oil or anything like that. I had just gone out there and said, I'm just going to enjoy walking with the children just like I do every day. And oh my gosh, it was incredible. So we ended up cutting our walk short because the mosquitoes were so bad. And I was quite certain if they were swarming me, they had to be swarming them. So we came in, and a couple hours later, we went back out again. But before we went out, I put on some citronella oil to, help keep the mosquitoes off. And they didn't like it very much because I put some on their collars to keep the mosquitoes away from them. They weren't really big fans of that because really they aren't really crazy about the smell of the oil. But it doesn't matter. They need to keep the mosquitoes off of them. So anyway, fast forward. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, my husband was about to fly to Mexico on business. So I called him, just to make sure he made it to the gate and all that kind of stuff. Because, these days, TSA lines, you never can tell how long it's going to take to get to the gate. And I commented to him that I was walking and that the mosquitoes were really bad. And so he starts offering all kinds of advice and suggestions and just, throwing out all kinds of things. But here's the thing. All I had done was offer information. I wasn't asking for suggestions. I wasn't asking for how to fix it. I wasn't looking for advice or suggestions or anything else, because I was simply giving information. I was simply telling him that I was out there walking with the children. I was being swarmed by mosquitoes. I recognized that it was because it had just rained and they had hatched. And that's all that I was looking for. So after I finished explaining to him, which he continued to give me information and suggestions, and I finally changed the subject because that wasn't the purpose of my telling him about the mosquitoes. The purpose, and if you're watching right now and you have any questions, just drop them in the chat, or you can click on the Zoom link and hop in over there. Let me see if I can drop the Zoom link here in the comments section. No, it's not letting me do that, but you can get the Zoom link from the event. Anyway, back to what I was saying. As I walked away, finished talking to him and everything, and I was walking on back into the house, I started thinking, how many times do you give information to somebody and all you're doing is giving information? You're not expecting a solution to a problem. You're not expecting, the next best thing to do, or you're not expecting the shoulda, woulda, coulda conversation that comes. All you're doing is giving information. How many times does that happen to you? It gets a little bit frustrating to me because sometimes I simply want to have a conversation and deliver information without the expectation that I'm going to be given a soliloquy in the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's rewrite the conversation between Mike and myself. Mike, I'm out here walking. I forgot to put on insect repellent. I'm being swarmed by mosquitoes. Oh, really? That's interesting. I guess they would be pretty bad because we've had all this rain, and so they've had lots of opportunity to lay lots of eggs. I can just imagine how annoying it is to be covered in mosquitoes. Yes, it is. It's very annoying to be covered in mosquitoes. Every step I take, I look down at my legs and they're almost black because they're covered in so many mosquitoes. Wow, I know how much you enjoy your walk, so I can imagine how annoying that must be. It is. It's very annoying. And then I'm concerned about the children, the four-legged children, because I know the mosquitoes are getting them, and I know that they can transmit heartworms. Even though they take preventatives, I still get concerned about it. Yes, that would be concerning. Now, do you see how different that conversation goes than the conversation that I did have? And the conversation that I did have was loaded with the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Loaded with the shoulda, woulda, couldas. All I was doing was delivering information. Now, let's take this conversation and talk about you. How many times are you simply delivering information and then the person starts in on the shoulda, woulda, couldas? What do? Do you stop talking? Do you shut down? Or do you say to them, I'm simply delivering information. I am not looking for advice or suggestions. It's just information. Maybe we could have a conversation about the information and just have a conversation. Wouldn't that feel better than sitting there gritting your teeth and listening to their shoulda, woulda, couldas? How many times does someone deliver information to you? I can be very guilty of this one. I have to catch myself, back up, take a deep breath, apologize to the person, and have a conversation about the information. How many times do you start delivering the shoulda, woulda, couldas when somebody delivers information to you? Because remember, we teach people how to treat us. So if we want somebody to acknowledge the information that we are imparting and have a conversation about the information, we need to do the same thing with the other person. I've even learned to ask, especially my children, I've learned to ask them, are you just giving me information or are you looking for advice? That way I can be very clear as to my role in the conversation. Because how many times do your children come to you and they just want to impart information, and instead you start delivering advice? I still recall very, very vividly a conversation I had with my mother quite a number of years back. We were sitting in the kitchen at my grandmother's house, and I was telling her about some struggle that I was having at work. I was working in San Angelo at the time, which is in the middle of West Texas. I was having some struggle and I was imparting the information to her, and she starts in on telling me what I should do. And I had to stop her and say, Mom, I'm not looking for advice. I just need someone to listen to me. That's all that I need right now. Oh, but I can tell you how to fix it. I said, Mom, I appreciate that, but I can figure it out. Let me figure it out. I just needed somebody to talk to right now. Now, how many times is that happening to you? We need to be very clear when we are having a conversation about our intent in the conversation. Are we looking to deliver information? Are we looking for advice? Are we looking to be comforted? What is it that we are looking for in these situations? Be very clear with yourself about it. Why? So that you can get the things that you need. If you are not telling people around you what it is you need, they cannot read your mind and they cannot give you what you need if you're not clear. Now, that's kind of a roundabout way to say the whole thing. How much easier is it getting for you to be clear with what it is you need from the people around you? How much easier is it for you to be clear on what you need from you? Because so many times what we need from ourselves is just to be able to sit still, to be quiet, and to listen to what it is we are saying. Sometimes we need to just sit still, be quiet, and feel. There really is nothing else we can do, nothing else that we can say. Just that. So if we practice with ourselves being clear on what it is we need from ourselves, then that makes it easier when we are talking to the people around us because we've already done some practicing. If you're struggling with the situation, the circumstance, or you have something coming up and you think that you would like to practice, just hop in. You can book a call with me if you want to, and I will be happy to get on Zoom with you and we can practice. We can do some role playing because all I want is for you to live your best life. I'm right here. I'm training wheels. I want to help you live your best life. That's all that I want because I want you to know that you are enough just as you are. And I'm going to help you, or at least I want to help you, learn to love yourself so you can fill the myself-sized hole in your heart and live your absolute very best life that you possibly can. So let me know what you think. Drop me some questions, and I'll see you about the same time next week. I hope you guys will get online and chat with me because I'd really love to hear from you. Take care. Until next week.